I've never been a broadcaster that's been a we kind of guy. Everyone has a bias, and I'm like everyone else. I want Oklahoma to win.
Third player in OU history to have multiple kickoff returns.
I think my role is twofold. I think mine is as a reporter in breaking news, being factual, but then also putting on an analyst role and trying to use some expertise as someone who played the game.
I'm just going to talk about those two guys, and then we have a $2 at the end.
At a very young age, I was very curious about journalism, about broadcasters, about people on radio. I would read everything I could get my hands on, and I think it was ingrained subconsciously that that's what I would pursue.
14, and Samaje Perine's fourth quarter touchdown helped give the Sooners the win.
Well, I was fortunate because I was recruited nationally, and I was fortunate. There were really good quarterbacks here, but I earned the backup position to Steve Davis, and so I was a true freshman playing the number 2 quarterback role at Oklahoma. But so college football was a lot of fun, but then rolled basketball season around, and I had to double up. But basketball was so difficult and so challenging from a conditioning standpoint that when I finished practice, I would go in and suit up for football. And I remember thinking, oh man, the hard part's over, now it's football. So I would have 2.5 hours of basketball and 2.5 hours of football practice. And then the day came that a decision had to be made that I'll never forget. I just happened to run into Coach outside of football offices, and he said, Dean, I want to talk to you. And he basically said that if you will not continue playing basketball and devote full attention to football, you will be my starting quarterback year after next, after Steve graduates. Starting quarterback at Oklahoma on a powerhouse team that was just getting ready to come on to television for Barry Switzer, etc. And so the decision was a simple one, and I took him up on it.
Here's Dean to throw the football, and Dean throws real well, threw well in the ball game, and hits Steve Rhodes, freshman receiver.
I got hurt in 1976 after our first 4 games. The doctor took a look at me, and I said, can I play? And he said, sit down, and my dad was with me. And it was one of the lower feelings of my life. No, you can't play, you're out, here's the assessment, hop in a room. I remember when I first got to call a basketball game for the University of Tulsa, I remember running to the telephone and calling my father, and it was like falling in love with a girl. Dad, I have found what I want to do. It is all over. This is all changing, and the career changed.
Baseball now, game 2 of the NLCS between the Giants and the Cardinals.
The Blitz began every Sunday night, so we've been doing that now for some 15 years, and it's a blast.
KJ Young, he's got to make that catch. That is as good a throw as Trevor.
We kind of launched the Blitz idea at the Orange Bowl that really worked. And so we've had a lot of fun, had a lot of success, had a lot of guests on, and it's worked.
Hello again, I'm Dean Blevins, and welcome to the latest edition of Sooner Football with Bob Stoops.
Bob's funny. Bob has a great sense of humor. I talked to Bob as we were trying to break the story of him coming to Oklahoma when he was down in Florida as an assistant coach, and created a bond, and then began doing his coach's show. We carried it at Channel 9 for a while, and at that time we did 2 shows. Bob had his weekly 30-minute show, and then the Sunday night replay show, which still runs now. So we began it 16 years ago, and I kind of look at him, he looks at me, and we say, well, let's go do it again.
Dean, again, a great guy to work with, very professional, has great instincts, and a really natural in what he does behind the camera and in doing my show. So he couldn't be easier to work with. So it's been fun to work with Dean, and he's a fun guy too.
Good defense striker.
Yeah, the University of Oklahoma has been great to me. Great to me. Education, a football career, championships, a basketball career, and friends.